Hello, everyone. Welcome to another interview. This time I invited my friend and colleague, Eva Lui. She has been teaching at MIU for some time, and she has lots of experience teaching and being missionary in Mongolia. Thank you, Eva Baksh, for accepting my invitation to be on this podcast.
You're welcome, my good friend.
So, Eva Baksh, your knowledge and your opinion will be very useful to all the people who are listening, because most of them are English learners. Can you just
I hope so.
give us
Yes.
your personal background information?
Yes. I was born in Hong Kong. Then I'm from Hong Kong. Because I'm from Hong Kong, the English I learned in my early life should be British English. However, Hong Kong is an international city. We met many people from all corners of the world. Then later on, from British English, then I contacted more American. So to me, both there's no difference to me. Sometimes some word their pronunciation are different, but to us it doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay. So
Is it enough? Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very interested that you have been studying linguistics, and I'm just interested, what really led you to study in this field of linguistics?
I think it might be because the way I think, because every person thinks, right? It depends on in what way you think and what things will attract you to think more, and you want to love to learn them more. So I didn't know much about linguistics. I only learned some when I was studying in MUIS. In Hong Kong, we just talk about grammar or use of English, but without mentioning anything about linguistics. Even I didn't pay attention to linguistics intensively until I was studying in the UK for the first time, just actually within 10 years, not long ago. I chose my topic on my research paper. I'm quite interested in movement. Movement. Yeah, movement. It means that I'll just raise you a very simple example. In Mongolian, if people ask you what's your name, people will ask you, "Tani thenki tikwe," or "Tani thinkwe," "Tani ne tikwe," and I would say "Mini ne Eva." So, you can listen from this sentence. There's nothing change with the position. Yes. But in English, automatically you will say, "What's your name?" My name is. So my name is Eva Lui. And the questions, what's your name? We move the what at the beginning of the sentence. So if I don't move, use Mongolian style, your name what is? Your name is what? But in English we don't say this, right? Just move to this. I tried me. I want to do more. However, because the first master degree I learned in the UK is a TESOL, and then they don't have formal linguistics. Although I want, but I can't. Finally, I changed my research topic to direct object, indirect object, and in qualitative linguistics. I see. So they don't use direct object, indirect object. Instead, they use the agent, recipient. More makes sense. After that, after I graduated from my first master degree in the UK, I came back to Mongolia to start, not to study, to teach for another year. I still have a feeling. I want to study in linguistics. However, studying in the UK is not easy. It's expensive, right? People from Hong Kong don't have any scholarship. So I use I redeem one financial product I bought many years ago before I came to Mongolia. Then immediately provide enough for me to pay the second time tuition fee. That's why I went there.
I see.
And I'm so happy. Yeah, that's why you asked me what caused me to go to study in linguistics. Okay, I can answer you until here.
I see. That's great. I also share your love of learning languages. And it's no coincidence that we are talking about learning foreign language. But I'm interested in your early years of learning English. Can you just share with us, how you came into learning English in the beginning? Now, when did you first learn English?
It's interesting, nobody will believe. My mother, she doesn't know any English. She passed away, she didn't know any English. However, she loved her children so well, she taught me 26 English alphabets. How?
Oh.
She went to ask one of our well-educated relatives, and she remembered all the pronunciation, really. Although might be not exactly close to. So she came home and teach me. And then before I went to the kindergarten, I already know how to say A, B, C, D, E.
Whoa.
So,
okay, kindergarten age.
As a child, I've never feel learning English is something difficult because as a child, you need to learn everything, right? Nothing is difficult. Or you can think everything is difficult. So that's why relatively they are just the same. I just learn English as I learn something else. Okay, but if I narrow down to the scope of learning English, I can share with you is that we learn English from kindergarten. Firstly, just vocabulary, and later on some short sentence. I still remember the first sentence I memorized is this. This is my book. It belongs to me.
Oh.
That time, how can I know? How can I know it belongs to me? But because by memorizing automatically, it is the first third person singular present tense. Because I memorizing, learn by heart automatically. There's an S after it belongs to me. Until later on, I realized, it is a verb, belongs to me. Okay, if you can continue ask me something else. And later on, we need to study English in school, both grammar and reading, and we need to read and memorizing. I can still memorize. I can still remember some things I memorized before because they are comprehensive. Just like what Stephen Krashen said, comprehensible input, comprehension input. Whenever understand something, it's easy for you to recall them. I think it is the way me and our classmates learn English spontaneously. Until form 3, it means that if equivalent to Mongolian educational system is around 6, 7, 8, 9 grade. This ninth grade. Used to get Hichet.
Okay.
Right?
It's really interesting. You had your English foundation, when you were around kindergarten age. Was that 4 or 5 years old?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay.
3 or 4. I must be before 4.
I want to really ask, because you started your English education so early, did it have any conflicting effects on your mother tongue? Learning English and I think Hong Kong language.
Hong Kong is, of course, written is a Chinese, traditional Chinese. Of course, interesting, laughing. Do you know? Let me tell you why. I never know until I learn word order. Exactly. The word order in English and Chinese, they're nearly the same. Subject, verb, object. Oh, no. Yeah. Subject, verb, object.
Subject, verb, object. Okay.
Yes. I never know there's other word orders in the world until I studied Mongolian. And then people told me Korean and Japanese similar because they are Thai language. They share the same word order. So when I studied linguistics, there are over 40 different word orders in the world with natural human languages. I didn't know that. It's amazing to me. That's why as I told you, as a child, we learn everything everything relatively is seem difficult or seem easy. That's why I just learned them. Yes. Okay. Yes. Pronunciation.
Yes.
For example, boat. B-O-A-T. Boat. A small boat. Okay. Okay. And then, firstly, I use some Chinese word. Bow. 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 It is a word. Bow. It means a talk in Mongolian languages. Togo. Not Togo. Togo. A pot we use for cooking things. So in Cantonese. Yeah, in Cantonese, my language is Cantonese, not Mandarin. We say that things are bow. So I wrote a word bow next to the English word boat. However, my elder sister, also English teacher, told us never do this. Don't do this. They cannot be the same, because even you feel it is similar but not the same. So from my primary 5, we began to study some phonetic symbols. The first time we studied was not IPA. It is a Weber pronunciation. Just use some small sign. For example, use a horizontal, just like something like a hyphen or underscore at the head of the letter. It means long A, long E, long I. Whenever it is long, it means that same sound of the original letter. Long A means A, long E means E, long I means I. Okay, and then we also another symbol is just a small curve, an upside down act. Okay, and then this add, A, and then I learned from this symbol gradually. Then our teacher told us, if you learn pronunciation correctly, you will pronounce any English vocabulary in the world. Because you can know, wow, so attractive. Of course, I learn very hardly because I want to be able to pronounce a word correctly. Later on, from the Weber's pronunciation, of course, transfer to the IPA.
Yes.
It's an international symbol. Firstly, I thought, wow, what are they? So strange. But now I think it is very, very useful. Yeah, that's the way. If you ask me, I can think about this. Okay.
Yes.
If you think not enough, ask me again. Yes.
Yes. When you share that, when you learn all the different, sounds in English, your pronunciation will be perfect, and then that skill will transfer to your speaking skill, and then your speaking will be so understandable, to others, even the native speakers.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
I cannot agree with you more.
Yes.
Phonetics class for a few years.
Yes, yeah, you're expert in phonetics. I know. I must ask you how to teach in the future if I need to.
Thank you, and I'm really glad that you touched on this subject of phonetics and pronunciation.
Yes, I think it is a basic foundation. Yes. I also thank you for my 2 teachers who taught us this. I still remember them. Really, I feel very thankful to them.
And you have this long experience of, many years of experience of teaching English. Can you share 1 or 2 the most memorable experience that still, carries on to this day?
Oh yes. Yes. Before I share the feelings of teaching, I can share one of my experience in studying. I didn't understand that until this kind of feeling emerged a few years later when I was teaching. Okay. One time, yes, I was studying in English. One time, our teacher returned us the examination paper. She said, "What to me? Do you know?" She said, "Eva, thank you. Why? I should thank her, right?"
Yeah.
I guess maybe she felt I can understand her meaning. I answer the questions correctly, and this make her feel happy enough to say thanks to me. And then I didn't understand. Wow, I feel very thankful. Actually, no need, right? Until a few years later. Actually, my teaching experience, I can't say so many. I think it's more or less within 16 to 17 years. I guess, yes, around this. And one time, I give our students examination. This one student, she can understand me 100% perfectly, and this make me think about the experience my teachers sent me, and then I really thank you for this student. Why? Because I think teaching is a kind of communication.
Yes.
Yeah, we agree. We taught something to students, and then and on the other hand, they need to read the book. I read the same book. They read the same book. They read. Okay, and then based on the classroom experience, and also based on the same test, we try to make some questions, make some tests for them, and then because I'm responsible to set the questions, they're responsible to answer, and then we can meet to each other, right?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. That's the first time. That time is very impressed for me. Of course, still many others. Okay.
Yeah. You know, I also to share your view. Whenever I just think that students and teachers should have this same goal, which is the education.
Yes, common goal.
And
yes,
then
yes.
when the two goals, coincide perfectly, that's
Yeah.
really, the joyful and the satisfaction is really high both for the teachers and students. And
Yes,
it really
yes.
relates to your experience.
Thank
the story.
Yeah, thank God. Thank you for your understanding here now.
And I want to, hear your perspective of teaching in Mongolia and teaching English in other countries. What do you see differently, and what's your point of that?
Yes, actually, I seldom thought about this and didn't compare. However, when you ask me, I can think of something. Actually, all the formal teaching experience happened in Mongolia. However, in Hong Kong, I also taught something else, but not English. Also, I went to some countries mission trip, just taught for a while. However, because in Hong Kong we use the same language or use English. If I teach, when I taught the Bible or discipleship training in the church, we use our own language and culture. Okay, so sometimes it can be compared completely. However, when I teach Mongolian students, I found it's not difficult, because Mongolian, they are willing to open up. They're willing to study. They might feel shy at the very beginning. Once you can open some door and show to them in this way you can do it, and then they will do. And then whenever they have a question, they will ask. So Mongolian, they how to say, they're easy to be engaged if they want to be engaged. Really. And because I learned Mongolian before, although I can't speak Mongolian very well. Mongolian is very complicated. Mongolia is my Mongolian teacher told us Mongolia is the coldest capital in the world. Coldest capital. It doesn't mean coldest place. Yes, Ulaanbaatar is colder than Moscow. Then, so some theories said that because they have cold head, so easy to learn English, learn language. I agree with that because I'm from southern China. I cannot roll my tongue. I can't. But the people from Beijing, they can, and also Mongolian can. I can't do that. Like Japanese, like Korean, we can't do this. Taiwan similar to us, although we speak different spoken language. So, number one, this precondition, make Mongolian to be able to study English not difficult. However, some sound Mongolian cannot pronounce well. For example, they want to say copy. Don't copy something, a copy. But they will say coffee. I like drinking coffee. When they say coffee, I say no, coffee. Don't make me happy. So, because of course there's a fair in Mongolian language. However, the fair is a special letter. Gadaaok. My teacher told us is a moral loaned word. So fair. Oh, it's a foreign language. That's why sometimes they cannot pronounce fair or where correctly, even where. However, because they don't have a where. However, Bopas. However, after explicit, it means the clear instruction. So to them, you must understand it because you taught phonetics before. So to them, how to move our lips, how to place our lips, okay, and then they can pronounce perfectly. Yes, that's the experience I can learn from Mongolian. I other two, some very typical pronunciation mistake. I don't know why. It seems they are inherited from last generation and continue to inherit. I always remind them, don't say answer as answer. Answer. I answer you. Yes. ANSWER. The W is silent. W doesn't have sound. So answer. I'm afraid. I'm afraid thank you. Very correct. I'm afraid. I told my student, please don't let me listen to this. I'm afraid I will learn from you in the future. I say answer. Oh, how terrible it will be. It doesn't mean you are terrible. It is not correct because we always need to say answer, right? And another thing is the pronunciation in past tense. As we know, past tense, apart from irregular past, we will say, I wanted. Want after T is did. Avoided after T is did. However, the others, I talked with Pobas the other day, right? Talked.
Yeah, right.
K is a voice sound, a voiceless sound. So talked, and then something we say I can't think about any word now. You can powered plenty is how to say yes, and some other word we don't use. We use so only 4 sound in English past tense t, did, t, or 4 sounds. But most of the students, when they do not pay attention to the pronunciation rule, they will pronounce all the things. It's impossible. So that's the obvious mistakes we must avoid. I also say this in teaching. I don't say anything in other places. Yes.
I have some opinion on, how Mongolian students pronounce English.
Yes.
I think we are strongly influenced by the Russian language education.
Yes.
For
example,
students shared that in Russian language, you have to pronounce every letter very distinctly and clearly. So
so same as Mongolian. Yes.
The fathers and grandfathers, they somehow, grasp this idea that when I pronounce English, I have to be very explicit and very clear in pronouncing every letter. So I think that must be one of the reasons why, they have this, incorrect.
You are correct. Yes, because some students from in main China, they also pronounce every consonant in English. But whenever they have been put in a better environment, they will change automatically gradually. Also, Russian students, because as you said that I have been teaching in MIU, right? Yes. And then some Russian students, first I cannot hear their accent, very difficult. However, they can write very well. Later on, after 2-3 years, they speak very well. Yes, that's the point. And also another example, I've discovered this when I was firstly, I was teaching in a Chinese school, teaching English to Mongolian primary or secondary students. Because for example, space, s, any word starts with s, they will say x space.
No.
I say no air. Yeah, so it is. I guess it's from Russian. I guess yes,
Mm. And
yes.
I want to
Yes.
steer the conversation into your field of research. Can you share about your PhD research specifically? What is really the central focus of your PhD research?
Oh, if your eyes ask my focus, I would like to let you know it is about English syntax,
Mm-hmm.
sentence structure,
Mm-hmm.
sentence structure.
And
As I yeah,
okay, please go on.
and as I raise one of the example, what's your name? It's a movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
We call this as transformation because we change the outlook of the sentence itself.
Mm-hmm.
Transformation. One chapter is transformation. Another chapter is theta roles, theta theories. As I also raised an example previously, many people, it's not easy for us to discern from direct object from indirect object. Obviously, I'm giving you something. You are supposed to the person who received the things I give you, but it turns out you are indirect object. The things I'm giving you is the direct object. Many people mistook this unless I learned the theta role. One of the example. Oh, if I give you something, I'm the agent. I give you something. You are the person who received my object. So because you are a person, you use your hand to receive the things I give you. So you are the recipient. So it much more makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I won't forsake the traditional grammatical term. It is our foundation. I won't agree with some people that, tradition is not good. They are important. They build up the new base, the new things based on the traditional grammatical concept. So grammar are important. Another thing is another chapter is a binding theory. For example, I make myself a cup of coffee every morning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in English sentence structure, I make myself. I is an antecedent. Myself is an anaphor or reflexive pronoun. These two things should be in the same clause. Cannot be further. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the reflexive pronoun cannot go before the antecedent. I cannot say myself. I make coffee. It's difficult. Automatically you will say, I make myself a cup of coffee this morning. Paul fit himself an hour ago with his lunch, right? This is something. It is a binding theory. Binding theory means that how to discern the pronoun and the anaphor and the antecedent in different position. It is some rules there. So it is also interesting. And finally, it's a little bit abstract. People usually think it is the beginning. Yes, it can be the beginning. However, it's most abstract. It is principle of parameter. It means that once we learn our first language, our parameter, this UG, Universal Grammar people said that our UG have been set to our first language. That's why Paul Bashe asked me at the very beginning when I studied English. I have been interfered by my mother tongue first language. I said, fortunately, I did it because number one, I didn't know things too much. Number two, the word order in English and Chinese, most of them are the same. Of course, in some cases, not the same. Just very seldom. We don't have to use a subject. But in English, every sentence, everything should have a subject. Even weather, time, place, distance, we use the subject it. But in Chinese, we don't use just saying something in this way. So this is more or less my focus. Unfortunately, because I give all my time in teaching. I long to start it out to start it, but I haven't yet. I will try my best. Thank you for asking me, and then reminding me of my thesis.
And can you explain your research question in a simple way?
Oh, yes. Actually, I can't, how to say that? I can't say I remember something, because in linguistics, sometimes it is different from some other field, you know. We don't use a literature review, but we have biographical literature and research questions. Okay, no, we don't have, nearly don't have, but we observe. We collect data and observe and see the difference and try to see the general pattern of the general pattern we can see, but we need to test it again by false data to see whether it is true or not. It is the way we do the linguistic paper. Yes, not research questions, not to look for something to fulfill the need to get the answer. Instead, we look for the special data, special generalization pattern from the data itself. That's the point here.
So
yeah, thank you for asking.
Is more of exploratory study rather than confirming presupposed theory.
Instead, it is like the other way around. The other way around. By observation.
Your observation.
Yes, the other way around.
Observation.
Yes. Observation, generalization, and test again the conclusion and continue again and again. That's the point.
And
yeah, you asked me well, and then you helped me to refresh my idea in my thesis. Really, yes.
And what are the key findings you have discovered so far?
Yeah, I can just raise some example. For example, in English, in the sky, right? In the sky.
In the sky.
Two birds are in the sky, or two birds in the sky. In Mongolian, tingir de muno. Tingir yure. Tingir de.
Tingir хоёр шүү.
Tingir baga. Yes. Yeah. Some student told me because I collect. Okay. And also, between A and B, in Mongolian, A and B don't do. So in English, this is a preposition. But in Mongolian, this postposition.
Oh, yes.
Nearly, just like a mirror reflection. Nearly, all things like this, you know. In Mongolian, subject, object, verb. In English, subject, verb, object. The subject as the first element in the sentence, no change. However, the object and the verb just like a mirror reflection, because we present this structure in terms of syntactic trees. Yes, right, drawing trees. And if I draw a tree in English language and I draw another tree in Mongolian language, I can see the trees are really just like the reflection, just a mirror reflection. It means that one is a subject, verb, object. The other side is a subject, object, verb. It means that subject is at the far away, far end, and then the object and the verb just opposite, just like a mirror. Just mirror, just like a toy. Yes. I still need to learn more, to do more. Yes, I always give all my time to my students. They don't know. My boss doesn't know too.
You know, as a Christian, I believe all languages, descended from a single language, and it just fascinates me to study.
Some language say that. Some language, some model say that. Say this. I don't know. I haven't got to this deep level, you know.
What are the potential implications of your research?
Good questions. Actually, before I studied linguistics, once I have a dream. This dream came from number one. Firstly, I was studying in which I need to translate. I needed to do the translation assignment both from English to Mongolian and from Mongolian to English. Wow, it's the most difficult course I've ever learned, I still haven't got it well. Translation, both sides. So, understanding English easier for me. But how to put the English into a Mongolian framework, corresponding structure, it's difficult for me. On the other hand, so Mongolian language, I need to check the vocabulary. However, you must know you're Mongolian. There are 8 cases in Mongolian,
I see. So
8 cases. Yes.
For you, translating from Mongolian to English was easier, and English to Mongolian was more difficult. Is that right?
Supposed to be. However, the point I want to make is that because in English there's no many case, just 3 case: subjective, nominative case, and also objective and possessive case. In Mongolian, you have you have loss, right? 8 cases, and then that time I think, how about if once I can have both the, I know what structure correspond to what Mongolian syntax structure will be wonderful. The second time this idea came to my mind again is when I was teaching in Ulaanbaatar University. I want to really, because I forgot how, because I never taught my student translation. I thought, if I can tell them from the perspective of Mongolian language, how English sentence work, it would be good for them to learn English sentence structure. So, linguistic thesis never suitable for everyone to read about. However, you asked me the implication. How about if I can, or my supervisor will help me and co-author together? How about, I'm not sure whether this can come true or not, English sentence structure, Mongolian sentence structure, a corresponding structure comparison. Will be good. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your Zhang. It means that you can read my point. There's the one application I want to reach. I think it is easier.
Well, I think
also interesting to me. Yes.
That sounds like a humongous task to really compare the structures of these vastly different languages.
Yes.
If it were and also similar languages like German and English, that would be easier.
Yes, because there are 95% of English from French and German.
Yeah.
One of our German teachers told us, but I didn't learn acquire any German. I just observed the method she taught us, apply my second language acquisition theory. Whether this theory is correct or not, which theory she is using, then I observed that way. That's why I can only remember something about German, English information. Yes, yeah. German, English, also Russian. Russian, English are close to each other too.
Yeah.
In Russian language, their movement. Yeah. I asked the Russian students.
Well, yeah, I also know that you have taught English writing. I don't know, but for many years, and as far as I know, and I really, know that many Mongolian English learners struggle with writing in English. So what do you advise them, since their confidence is limited and they really need, help to improve their skills and increase their confidence? What do you suggest to them?
Yes, actually, as we know, there are 4 basic skills in learning a language. English too. Yes, receptive, listening and reading. Productive, writing and speaking.
Yes.
Yes. So I seldom desperately separate writing skill from other skills. However, when I taught English writing skill, I think it is good chance for me to polish my writing skill too. I'm one of the professors, or like I always say teachers. I don't want to use the word professors. To me, others I will call them professors. Okay, what course I'm going to teach not decided by me, but by my boss. Actually, I would like to receive what job they assign to me, except these things I never learned before. I'm really not interested in engaging to them. Actually, I like something more difficult and easier. English writing is challenging, really. Yes. So, again, it's also about English sentence structure. Apart from English sentence structure, it's also about the format of a paragraph, the format of an essay. These things are not difficult to handle. In a paragraph, you must know where's the topic sentence. You have a conclusion or a transition sentence from this paragraph to transit to the following paragraph. Under your topic sentence, you need to have some following up supporting sentence and also some examples. Actually, English writing, we can say that it is not like a poem or poetic or English literature, because English literature or poem, they have their rules, I know, but I don't know them, Actually, in English writing, we can analyze, we can count, we can grade them as objective as possible. When I was teaching English writing around 2 years ago or 1 year ago, a year ago, I taught the English writing 1, and 2 years ago, I taught both 1 and 2. And one thing I remember, I never changed my students' idea. The idea. Why? The idea are original. Idea and the presentation are two different things. Some students, they have very good idea. They just didn't know how to present. My task is that how to keep their own idea and told them, if you want to express in this way, you need to write this way. I really use their own original word, but just different rearrangement.
That's sign of a very professional teacher.
There are lots of things. And really, because I think, thank God, I can remember some of my students' original idea. One student, her English not so good, but the way she shared with me in her writing, how her parents celebrated her Children's Day when she was a child, and how she spent her birthday herself. What's the way she celebrate her birthday. This is a very good idea, And I don't want to be hardworking, but I have to be, especially, Papas, when we teach our students English writing, because I want to keep their original idea, then use the different presentation, rearrange their wording. They need to do, of course, they must write a playwriting. They cannot cheat. They just write me something. No, write again. Okay, pre-writing first, and then first draft, second draft, nearly third draft, third, and later on, I just I just grade them, read for them the first and second draft, and leave the second draft for their own to do it for your examination. That's the point. I can see it is nearly possible to help every student to do in this way, unless those who don't write, use Google Translate, and I don't know how they don't. If they don't write their own, they don't use their mind or brain and write something by themselves, I can't help them. That's the point. Okay, I'm not sure whether I have answered your questions, Paul.
Thank you. I just I like your perspective, but I wanted to to hear your perspective on the influence of technology, especially with the rise of ChatGPT and Google Translate.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many students
Continue.
just tend to overuse this technology instead of using their own original ideas. And for as a teachers, it's sometimes very hard to distinguish which one is original, which one is the, artificial and fabricated pieces. How do you respond to these students'
I see what you mean.
technology?
It depends on how these students think, how they want themselves to be. Okay, you can check anyway. Nobody can judge you, and then you can never never learn anything. I watched some workshop online about how to make use of GDP or even AI, but in a possible way, do not affect their learning process. Because I cannot code as closely as the scholar told us. You can ask them things, you can collect information there, but you must ask by yourself. It means that you are the mastermind. You ask them, you link them together. If you are allowed to use technology in doing your assignment. However, in examination, you must write on the paper in front of me.
And
you see,
yes,
they cannot copy it. Yeah,
and it's
please.
Often, what can I say? Oh, the right word doesn't come to my mind, and it's
it
just
doesn't matter.
My tongue.
Just like, okay, I can tell something else parallel to it. Just like Google search, right? Google search. Google is the search engine. In the past, we didn't have. If you search something by Google search, you can get some information. But now the paradigm it seems changed from Google search to AI or GDP chat. It means that you can make use of them, but I hope they won't replace your mind. If you are willing, you don't want to learn anything, well, up to you. Okay, you die. Okay, but if you really want to learn something by yourself, you must think about for yourself. But in my case, if I'm teaching them writing, okay, Simon, I can't follow you to go home to see whether you write by yourself. Some students ask their elder brothers, elder sisters, but something we didn't talk about in the class. I asked her, how can you get this? Of course, they automatically told me, oh, my elder sister told me. I said, no, don't do that. Do it yourself. You can ask your elder brothers and sisters, but you must do yourself. I can't see your soul there, I can't see your soul. I can't feel you.
Yes,
They
I
understand.
like how you put
Really,
it. You can't see your soul in the writing.
I can see your soul, yeah. Even you are struggling. I can feel you are struggling. It's really by you. Yes. And I really thanks to my students because I can see their progress, no matter from speaking or to writing or their assignment, get their assignment done. I can see something change. But however, some students sometimes are lazy. I can see they are lazy. They cannot do anything. And then I will ask them personally, whether they want themselves to be what they decide. If they I don't want to be good. Okay, up to you. Okay. And then sometimes we need to leave some responsibility to them, give them back. You decide yourself. Look, I decide. I can't decide you. But if you want, I would like to help you. That's
I like your philosophy.
So far, I'm thinking.
It's it's up to the student's desire. If they really want it, teachers are more than willing to help them and grow. But if there is no design, no initiative, not the best teacher even help them.
Yes, because in the future, how you like to in what way to live in the world, you decide by yourself, right? Even your parents cannot follow. So you reap your results, right?
Yes.
Reap what you plant.
And then we move on to the point of making mistakes. As a language learner and as a teacher, I know it's very important that no matter many mistakes you make, however many you make, you grow by making them. But many learners, they have fear of making mistakes, and therefore they do not speak, they do not try in fear of making mistakes. How do you help students to overcome their fear of speaking or making mistakes in speaking and writing?
Yes, it's not only a kind of studying or speaking or writing. It is a kind of how you think psychology. Because I was grading students' assignments last night. One student told me, one or two told me, "Oh, I don't know how to do," and then leave that portion blank. I visualized this student's face. I thought, it is a kind of confidence. Confidence. We, as a teacher, we cannot make up all the years before I knew him or her, before we know them. How you grow up, how your family build you up. However, on this area, okay, just like in this assignment, in this course, I can just tell you something just close up. You can compare anything, you can see the difference. Try to write them down and then write what you can see. Originally, you can do it. Also, part of this thought, I was also inspired by Thomas. You know Thomas, right?
Yes.
He said some students, they could not, at the very beginning, he didn't understand anything about them. They wrote, but they write, and then they write something. Gradually, something makes sense. Because I believe how our God created us. There's just like universal grammar. There's parameter inside, there's LAD, no matter what to call them, something inside, we are not empty. Something we can learn. Even the philosophy of education, the Plato, classical one, said that we are not teaching them anything. We use some teaching method to draw something inside them, and then they can learn by themselves. Even pets, dogs, and I know you have 2 birds, right? They can study. Exactly. Something beyond our control. It is originally God gave us. Some people, they don't believe in God. Originally, we got before we were born. Innate. It is innate. That's why. Because their experience make them lack of confidence. What we can do is to encourage them. I can't follow them for their whole life. I can't make them up for the time they pass until we meet them, right? However, we can make use of the time we meet each other to encourage them.
That's very inspiring.
To confirm. Thank God, really.
I think that's the exemplary mindset of an educator. Not to teach them, but to let them express what's really hidden inside their minds. And
yes, we have some instinct each, right? Survive, want to get money. These are some instinct. Yes, whenever we want to get something, they will make any means, make any way. Use this. They can also do this in their studies.
And
maybe we are too. Yeah.
Thank you. And I want to ask, because you have been studying in the UK education system for a while.
Yes.
Cultural differences, have you noticed in the way English is taught in the UK compared to Mongolia? I know your answer will be very valuable to the listeners.
Okay, yes. Actually, it involves 3 cultural backgrounds. My UK and Mongolian. Hong Kong, it seems just like a mini UK. You never believe. In Hong Kong, I'm not sure now. Now it's similar on the outlook. Everything in bilingual. We hear 2 languages. Wow. Now 3 languages. Yeah, Cantonese, English, now Mandarin, plus 1 more because it's a colonialism. Okay, and and everything in both languages, except some very small shop, no. And then in the UK, I see some sign on the road, left, right, same side, English part. And then in Hong Kong, we use one more word, Chinese character. So to me, not so strange. In Mongolia, I think the big difference is that Mongolia does not provide a language environment. However, gradually I can see more. If you go to see the international airport,
yes,
everything is English in Mongolia. And international airport in the world, all over the world, both. And nowadays there are more and more English signs in Mongolia. Sometimes I even complain, how can people understand English? Please use some Mongolian too, you know. Some very high-end shop, they use English only. Who can know that? Ordinary people cannot know that. But from the Mongolian students' perspective, once they go to the UK or even US or maybe these two, you know, Australia or Canada, everything is spoken, and also written in English. So how can I prepare when I am in Mongolia now? Idiom, phrasal verbs. We cannot learn all the things, especially idioms. Idioms are, there are many regional differences.
Yeah.
However, some idioms are from the Bible.
Oh,
and these idioms,
you
can see. So, yes. For example, and also literature. William Shakespeare did a lot of contribution. So, to me, I think phrasal verb is more useful. Idiom too. Some idiom is more often have been used more often by others compared with other idioms. For example, one time I asked one person, one place, and he told me, "Oh, I haven't got a clue." Exactly, I saw the sentence on the textbook. I was teaching to my students. You know, so immediately, automatically, I thought about, oh, I haven't got a clue. It means I don't know. It's good to me. That's why, actually, you and me, we are language teacher. We know language are not so difficult, really, because we are human beings. Some people even said that this is a blind spot inside our brain. This blind spot as a bridge. Universal Grammar said this as a bridge to link up to we can understand other languages. As long as we are there, we want to think, we see this sample, we heard the data, we see because also written language and spoken language, they are two totally different systems. The sound and the written form never have direct relation. Why we call mountain as a mountain, right? Yes, it's really close to a philosophy question. One philosopher also. Yeah.
Except in Chinese, because in Chinese, the mountain, the character for mountain really looks like a mountain.
Like a picture, right? Like a picture.
I think
yes.
Chinese.
So Chinese is easier, sometimes easier, because picture is an international sign. Yes.
Sometimes, you know, I hear many students complain that Chinese is the most difficult language in the world. And I thought so too, but after studying a bit, and some Chinese characters, you know, they're more of intuitive, and you know, they carry the meaning in their, you know, the shapes.
The shapes, form.
The character looks like a real life object, and it makes learning easier, I think.
If you go to Taiwan, the language in Taiwan, in Hong Kong now, but the Chinese government is going to change us, you know. Taiwan and also the kanji in Japanese, they keep the original form. And then you said intuition, because the ancient Chinese was made by intuition. Mountain, river, but something is symbolical.
Yeah.
There are six ways to create. I can't remember them very well, you know. Sometimes visual, sometimes sound. Other time is to combine two different forms together and make you to realize, that's the, so interesting. To language, languages are always interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Of course, some language I'm afraid of. Middle East, India. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Thai language, Cambodian, but as long as we are there, I think we must have some way to learn that language. We were made in this way. That's my belief.
Yeah, I share your belief.
Expression.
You're made to learn
thank you.
languages.
Yes.
I think this really gives confidence to many people. You know, if they especially think they have no talent, no ability to learn languages, you know, foreign languages, because we are really made to learn, you know, any language in the world if we, you know, dedicate our time and resources. I think
hearing, yes, as you know, hearing, listening, and reading must be two very forceful way to input data.
And I want to ask, you know, how important is it for English learners to understand cultural nuances, you know, and how can this
cultural what? Cultural what? Sorry.
Cultural nuances.
Let me see.
Yes, it's some
cultural. What to spell?
Nuance.
Awareness, right? Awareness.
No, nuance. N-U
How to
N-U-A-N-C-E.
N-U-A-N-C-E. Nuance, right?
Nuance.
So, what do you mean by? I want to give me some footnotes and then I can know more, okay?
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I'm going to search because one word we need to know which area. Yes, really. Yes. Close to. N-U-A-N-C-E, right?
Yes.
Correct. Just a moment. A subtle difference in or shade of meaning expression of some. Oh, yes.
Like,
that's why, you know,
yes,
language itself have a lot of limitation.
Yes.
Limitation. We cannot get the full meaning of the language without going in the context itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in English syntax, not English only, there are ambiguous sentences.
Yeah.
Which one do you think, this or that one? So clarification, asking is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Go to that context. Actually, our daily life, we come across this so often. On the other hand, it's not so difficult. On the other hand, it's not so often too. You know, many things people can understand literally. Not so. That's why, you know. Sometimes, if I don't know, I will ask. Just I ask you something, right? Because it can be used in different area. You know.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm nearing another time limit.
Yes.
Now I want to ask 3 more
Yeah.
questions.
We talk really well. Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions again?
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter.
My next
Yes or no?
is you know,
Okay.
I just found out that many Mongolian English learners want to improve their academic writing. And
Yes.
You know, what's your advice for these, you know, students to find resources to
Okay, yes.
progress?
I can tell. Yeah. As we said before, okay. Since it is called academic writing, it means that it is widespread in different areas. People can communicate with each other according to the academic writing format, okay? Such as a topic sentence, a conclusion, something, so and so, and thesis statement, something. Any English writing book about this, we need to look at. Okay. I also dropped down some notes. Okay. IELTS test is an official book. They all usually have something analysis. We don't need to buy very expensive, 1 or 2 is okay. And also British Council website. British Council website. And any website you come across, also we notice these websites have been written by native English speaker, British or American, Cambridge, Oxford, Pearson. Even some American, they use Cambridge too. Cambridge, they are good business organization. They have a British version and also an American version, and different kind of variety structure of English sentences. For example, adjective clause, a verbal clause, prepositional phrase, relative clause, and following present participle without a subject, and usually there's another clause after that. The subject of the second clause must be the subject of the first clause. We look for the subject here. It's very interesting to me, because yes, present participle, past participle, relative clause, prepositional phrase. These are different kind of rhetoric writing skill in English. Actually, they can't be too difficult. Most of the people, they just reach to the intermediate level is enough. Who can go to advanced? That's the point, sometimes we want to go to advanced, but no this class. Few people join the advanced class. That's I usually listen to BBC News, Sky News, and whenever we listen, we can know something. But still, something I cannot understand fully, I look for the similar website. I type the things I heard, and then on the internet, and then I click on the news. They can come up, and I can read them very well. Also, even international news, I'm sure Mongolian news website, they also have some famous news. Exactly. Because all translated from the same source.
Yes. And
yes.
my final question is, so you have experience of studying abroad, and the many people who are watching and listening will be interested in studying abroad and in English-speaking countries, Australia, UK, and the US.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give someone who is preparing or want to study abroad? What should they do?
Actually, I think I am not a very careful person. Relax, but nobody will believe me. Listening, reading, observation are important. And try to speak. Just like doing some experiment, really. Cannot try again. Ask people. Because to change the position in Mongolia too, sometimes I ask people, Mongolia, how do you call this? And they will tell me.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Yes, I think no need to be afraid. No need to be afraid. People understand you also. If you're going to study abroad, most university today, they have some preliminary course, language course something. If you register, enroll as one of the students in bachelor or master degree course, the university themselves, they have some language course. Sometimes these courses are free. Go to study.
Oh, that's very helpful.
Because in foreign country, every teacher, many foreign teachers are there. They cannot sell themselves too high. Understand? I mean, in Mongolia, very high, So you can always learn anything on the street. So go to get some course. Some courses are free, and also because when I was studying in UK for 2 times, our classmates told me oh, I cannot get the standard, but I came here to study in the school's language course. Once I pass the language course itself, I can get into the university. That's the point. Yes, so I think no need to be to worry, because especially if you are young enough, it means that not 60 or 70, young enough. Even today, I can still study, right? Okay, don't worry. Experience, you cannot be afraid. I understand we are always afraid of anything. On the other hand, go. And one final tips, of course, we have been made by God.
Yes.
Yes, but this is not my scope of speaking here. Really? No, you are not on yourself. You know, who gives you the body? Who gives you the thought? Who gives you the heart? The system. You think about your parents cannot answer you. Your parents cannot answer you, but you have remained this way. Trust. You have this insight. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you.
If you are afraid something, it means okay, you're welcome.
Yeah. I just want to leave just a minute or two, to say anything. Do you want to share anything or final words?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Hey, yes. Yes. I wrote down something. Okay. Yes. Few things. Okay. Oh, pragmatics. Pragmatics.
Pragmatics.
It's different from semantics. Pragmatics is a linguistic subject, but pragmatics this time, it means that how to use language in different contexts appropriately. Because I really can memorize the sentence in a textbook, you know. Some people, we know vocabulary, we know syntax, sentence structure, we know morpheme, it means that morphology means how to put a plural number, past tense, but we still cannot speak because we need to use some language in different situations. For example, how to accept an appointment, how to reject appointment indirectly, how to make medical appointment. All of this is easy to find books. And another kind of books I can introduce you. It originally was very expensive, but we can get the earlier version online free. Essential English Grammar, Intermediate Grammar, by Raymond E. Brown, published by Cambridge. Because why? They are teaching grammar in terms of conversation. All the examples are what? Conversations. I learn a lot from them. I always introduce my students. All grammar are there. Okay. Also, another thing I want to tell you is that academic and novels or movie, they are two different levels.
Yes.
Novels cannot cover academic. Academic won't talk about the daily life, so we need to do both. I think, yes. Papa, you know them.
Thank you so much. I think the Zoom will set up soon. So it was very, interesting and enjoyable interview for me as well. And I think I'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you. You make me happy.